Hi, I'm Aaron Gold for Auto by Tel, and today I am driving the 2014 Buick Verano. Now, when Buick came out with this car a couple of years ago, they were quite prophetic. They said that they thought there was a market for compact luxury sedans, and it turns out that they were right. This year, Audi is coming out with the new A3 sedan, Mercedes has the new CLA 250. Of course, the Buick costs quite a bit less. It is based on the Chevrolet Cruze, but it's not just a Cruze with some extra chrome and portholes and all that other stuff. It actually has a unique roof line, it's a different shaped car. I actually think from the outside, it's a very good-looking car. Base engine for the Verano is a 2.4-liter, 180 horsepower four-cylinder, but this is the muscle Verano. This one has the 2-liter turbocharged engine, puts out 250 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to knock nearly 2.5 seconds off the 0 to 60 time, 6.2 seconds according to GM, which is ridiculously fast for this type of car. Now, the good news about the turbo engine, well, there's two bits of good news. Number one is you can actually get it with a manual transmission, which is rare and cool. Number two is there's not that much of a fuel economy penalty compared to the base engine. The bad news is the fuel economy in either engine is not that great because the Verano is a bit of a porker. This thing weighs 3,500 pounds, which is 1,000 pounds more than the Versa we tested just a couple of weeks ago. Someone's been hitting the snacks there, eh, Verano? 21 miles per gallon city, 32 miles per gallon highway for the base engine, and only about 1 mile per gallon less for the turbo. One of the Verano high points is it has a family-friendly trunk, 14.3 cubic feet, smidge less if you have the optional Bose stereo. Every Verano I've driven up until now had a beige interior with a two-tone dashboard, which I really liked. This one is all black. Now, I'm not a big fan of all black interiors. I find them a little dark and depressing, and frankly, the Verano is not doing anything to win me over. First of all, the monochrome dashboard highlights a couple of things that Buick would probably prefer you did not notice, like the fact that the doors of the dashboard line up down here, but don't line up properly up here. Or the fact that this bezel doesn't exactly fit into the hole in the dashboard that was cut out for it. But no color and no trim combination can hide the fact that there are just way the hell too many buttons in this center stack. Now, the Verano has the MyLink infotainment system, which is one of the better ones. It's very well organized, but with all these buttons, it's just really difficult to use, especially when you're on the road. You just got to stare and try to figure out which one you're using. The material quality is really nice, I'll give it that. It's a fairly comfortable place to sit up here, but it's not a user-friendly car to operate. The back seat is kind of a metaphor for the entire Verano. It's not really that bad, it's just not really that great. I mean, it's pretty easy to get in and out with big wide door openings. The seat is comfortable and supportive, but the legroom is not fantastic. You got this big armrest, which is kind of too wide to be useful. It's okay, it's just not great. Now, the driving experience in this car is nothing like what I was expecting. I mean, for one thing, it's almost silly how quick this thing is. You get on it and it just jets. No torque steer, no drama. It's as well behaved as any good sports car. And it's kind of the same deal with the handling. I mean, when you consider that the Verano is engineered to give a really smooth, really quiet, really isolated ride, which it does, it's kind of amazing how it clings on in the curves. You could really get on it, it stays flat, it grips well. The steering's not great, but it's pretty well behaved. And I would venture that a decent, halfway decent driver in a Verano Turbo could easily keep up with a lot of German cars. I kind of like it. Pricing for the Verano starts at about $24,625, ranges up to about $33,500. And that puts the Buick in kind of a strange spot. It's more than well-equipped, non-premium branded compacts, like, for example, the top-of-the-line Ford Focus Titanium, but less than proper luxury cars. Now, of course, Audi and Mercedes say that they'll sell you an A3 or a CLA for around 30 grand, but good luck actually finding one of those cars. Most of them have a lot of options. They're going to be priced $5,000 to $8,000 higher. Well, is it worth it? Well, I'm not going to say anything about Buick's brand image out of politeness to General Motors. Excuse me a sec. Old person's car. But the fact is, if you're seeking out a romantic partner with questionable morals, saying, I drive a Buick doesn't work nearly as well as I drive an Audi or I drive a Mercedes. Now, you could compare this directly against nicely equipped mid-size cars. The question is, who would want to do that? Who would want a smaller luxury branded car in place of a larger car with a less impressive name but the same equipment? My grandmother. I guess the bottom line is the Verano is very well executed. I'm just not sure who the target market is. I really don't know what more to say about the car, so I think I'm just going to dance my way off screen. I'm Aaron Gold for Auto by Tel. Thanks for watching.